If you're building an AI agency or you're thinking about starting one, you've probably seen all the hype around Claude Code. And now there's this new thing called Moltbot that everyone's going crazy about. So let me save you some time. Here's the whole debate in just 2 sentences. Claude Code helps you make more money and Moltbot saves you more time. That's the bottom line. But here's where it gets interesting, because 3 weeks ago, Daniel would not shut up about Claude Code. Every day it was Claude Code this, Claude Code that. But then about a week ago, Moltbot dropped. And I think the AI space just shifted again. So in this video, we're gonna figure out which one you should actually be using if you're running an AI agency, or if you should be using both. We're gonna break down what each tool actually does, where it shines, where they maybe fall short, and by the end, you'll know exactly when to be using both of them. If you're new here, I'm Nathan, and I'm building TwinStream AI with my twin brother Daniel. And on this channel, we share from what we're learning from being in the trades, understanding the problem, and then identifying the right solutions to implement into different businesses. Let's settle this. All right, let me start by explaining exactly what Claude Code actually is. Because up until a few months ago, people only knew it as a coding tool. But Claude Code has evolved into something much bigger through MCP servers, Model Context Protocol. In simple terms, it can now connect to external services like Notion, Slack, GitHub, databases, file systems, you name it. So it's not limited to your project folder anymore, eh? Nope, exactly. I've been using it to extract info from our Notion database, analyze our content library, and generate strategy recommendations based off exactly what's in our business. Now, the key with Claude Code is that I'm there the whole time. I'm course correcting if it goes in the wrong direction, asking follow-up questions mid-task. It's like having a really smart assistant sitting right next to me. So your argument is Claude Code is all anyone needs? No. My argument is that Claude Code gives us all the power and control. And for complex work, which is super important for running your agency, that control is essential. All right, now I get that, but honestly, wait until you hear about Moltbot. Hey guys, quick one. If you're a business owner who's interested in what AI automation can do for your business, you can get in touch with us at TwinStream AI with one of the links down in the description. We'll take you through the entire implementation process, starting with identifying the right solutions, but all the way through to building the systems and providing the ongoing support to keep everything running smoothly. Now, I'm the internal AI specialist at a construction company here in Australia, so it's fair to say that I know exactly where AI can fit into your operations. Trust me, you're in good hands. All right, let me tell you about Moltbot. Moltbot is an AI agent that runs on a computer, whether it be a Mac Mini, a VPS, which is like a cloud server, or even a computer from your cupboard like me. And honestly, it still works that way. And you can control it through Telegram, Slack, and even WhatsApp. And the best part is that it has persistent memory, so it remembers everything. It has full system access, and it runs 24/7. So it's like Claude Code, but basically always on? Nah, it's more than that. So let me just explain the fundamental difference. Claude Code is the assistant. You tell it what to do, it does it, and you're there watching it the whole time. You could just have it on the screen next to you and you can see it ticking off those tasks, getting through that list, and performing the tasks that you're asking it to. But Moltbot, on the other hand, it's like hiring someone to work overnight. I give it a job, I go to sleep, and when I wake up in the morning, the work is done. Now, this first popped up in my feed about a week ago, and I'm not even joking, I messaged Daniel straight away. I was like, have you seen this thing? Like, this changes everything. He literally sent me about 15 links in just 10 minutes because I could not believe what I was seeing. People were waking up to their AI having built full applications overnight. It even does research that they didn't even ask for, and it was thinking ahead. What does that actually mean in practice for someone who's already running an agency? Well, it means that I could message Moltbot at 10 p.m. at night. I'll tell it every morning at 8 a.m, send me a briefing with overnight emails, AI news, and a summary of what our competitors posted. And then I go to sleep, and at 8 a.m, it just does it. What, and Claude Code can't do that? No, like, not without you sitting there with the terminal open. Claude Code needs you in the loop, but Moltbot runs independently, and that's the difference. But that's what also makes it risky, right? I know. We'll get to that. Okay, here's my concern with Moltbot. You're giving an AI full system access and you're telling it what to do while you're asleep. What happens when it does something wrong? So that's why you set up guardrails. You run it on a dedicated machine, not your main computer, unless you've obviously got it on the VPS. And you definitely don't give it access to client-facing systems either. The point of it is to be using it in the back end of your systems. But the thing with Claude Code, I don't need the guardrails because I'm watching it all the time. If it starts going in the opposite direction, I'll just say, stop, let's just try a different approach. Sure, but that also means that you have to be there every time for every task. Now that's fine for complex work where you need to be involved, but what about the repetitive stuff? the competitor research, the inbox summaries, the discovery call preparation. Do you really need to sit there and supervise that when you're trying to scale an agency? I mean, probably not. Exactly. That's where Moltbot wins. It's not better for everything, but it's better for the tasks that you shouldn't be doing manually in the first place. All right, but let's talk about security. Claude Code's built by Anthropic. It's official. It's already got safeguards built in. Moltbot is a community-built app that sits on your computer and can read files and run commands. So you're basically giving it real access. You're not just asking questions. That's fair. And honestly, that's why you don't give Moltbot access to anything that's sensitive. No client emails, no social media accounts, no financial systems. You treat it like a new hire and their first week. Just give them limited access until they can prove themselves. So you're saying that Moltbot is powerful, but you got to be careful with what you let it touch? I'm saying that any powerful tool requires responsible use, but the upside is definitely worth it, especially when you're building an AI automation agency and you need to practice what you preach. Okay, let me make the case for when Claude Code is obviously the better choice. If you're doing complex, repetitive work, like putting together a proposal for a new client, we need to research their business, pull relevant case studies, and draft something tailored, you need the back and forth. You need to be able to say, okay, can we adjust this? Or can you dig deeper on this? Moltbot can't do that. I'll give you that. For anything that does need human judgment throughout the process, Claude Code is better. Claude Code is made for working inside a repository. It can edit code, run tests, and it's got clear permissions. Moltbot can do similar things, but it's a general do anything tool. So your repository and development workflows, they rely more on your setup. Agreed, but let me just make the case for Moltbot. If you're running an agency, there's a category of work that needs to happen, but it doesn't need you. Think lead research, monitoring your competitors, prepping for discovery calls, and even putting together briefs. This stuff eats hours, but it's not complex. It's just necessary. And what, Moltbot can do that without you even being there? Exactly. Set it up once and it runs. Every morning you wake up to a briefing. Every Monday, you get a summary of what's happening in your space. And every time someone books a discovery call, you get a research brief of their company dropped straight into Notion. Now, you didn't do any of that, but it got done. Okay, I'm starting to see the real reason behind the hype. Because honestly, that discovery call prep, I spent 2 hours on that last week. And it wasn't that it was hard work or anything, but it was just that time that I can't get back. But wait, there's more. And here's the thing that really gets me. Moltbot improves itself and it has persistent memory across all of your conversations. It learns your preferences, your projects, and your communication style. So what does that mean? It means the more that you use it, the more useful it becomes for you. Yeah, that's true. Claude Code doesn't really have that persistent memory. Right? Every session in Claude Codes feels like a fresh one. You can give it context, but it doesn't accumulate knowledge over time like Moltbot does. All right, I think we're actually landing somewhere interesting here. And honestly, this next part, it's the most important thing that we're gonna say in this entire video because it's gonna save you weeks on wasting time on the wrong tool. So here's the way that I've started to think about it, and this is what's actually clicked for me. Claude Code is for the work that makes you money, the client proposals, the complex builds, the stuff you need your brain to be involved in. But Moltbot, on the other hand, is for the work that costs you time. All right, so here's where we're at. So we've been deep in Claude Code for weeks now, and it's part of the core of what we do. But Moltbot dropped 7 days ago, and based off what I've seen, the use cases, the potential, the direction that this is going in, I think it's the next step for agencies like ours. We're setting up a full Moltbot system this week. Morning briefs, competitor monitoring, discovery call research, content planning, all that stuff, which at the moment it takes us hours. And we're gonna document the whole thing right here on this channel. What works, what doesn't, and what you should avoid as an AI agency owner. So if you wanna see the full setup tutorial, then make sure you're subscribed. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that thumbs up for more videos like this.